What would happen if every NFL quarterback played for the team that they grew up rooting for? Who would have the best quarterback room? Who would have the worst quarterback room? Who would win the Super Bowl? We're going to figure all that out right here and right now in this video. Stay tuned. All right, so we're into franchise mode, and obviously I have the Cowboys because I'm a Cowboys fan. And what we're going to do now is, before we start the season, we're going to check the NFL roster so I can show you guys just who the quarterbacks are for their favorite teams they grew up rooting for. And so we're going to start from the beginning, which is the Bears. So as you see, the Bears, they have Kirk Cousins and Jimmy G. So it's not really too bad, but you know, not a lot of people really grew up watching the Bears, and really the Bears have never had a good offense anyway. So they're probably one of the few teams that have won Super Bowls that didn't even have a good quarterback. So it's probably a hard room for them. And then the Bengals, there wasn't really anybody for the Bengals that we found. There wasn't really anybody for the Buffalo Bills. For the Denver Broncos, likewise, we didn't really find anything there. For the Browns, the only one that we found was Mr. Trubisky. He actually grew up a Cleveland Browns fan because I believe he's from Ohio. So yeah, that was really the only one for that one. For the Bucks, we didn't have anybody, which makes sense because they're like the worst franchise in history. So, you know, they didn't really find anything there. Same thing with the Cardinals. We didn't really find anything there. The Chargers, Justin Herbert, ironically, he's already playing for a team that he grew up. So this was really easy for me. I didn't even have to make any changes. Then the Chiefs, Drew Lock, he grew up a Chiefs fan. So that's a play for the Chiefs. The Colts, nobody really grew up with Colts. You would think that with them having Peyton Manning, they would have some people growing up being a fan of them, but couldn't really find any quarterbacks currently that were fans of the Colts. And the Cowboys, as you can see, man, the Cowboys were stacked. I mean, you got Mahomes, Lamar, Dak, and Mariota. Like, that's 3 of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. And it's probably not surprising because Dallas Cowboys, I mean, they are, you know, one of the biggest franchises in sports history. But when I saw this, I was like, man, this is crazy. This is really crazy. And then the Dolphins was Teddy Bridgewater. Philadelphia was actually Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan grew up a Philadelphia fan. He loved Donovan McNabb. And same thing with Jameis. He grew up a Philadelphia fan. And the Falcons, Justin Fields, obviously him being from Georgia, he grew up a Falcons fan. Same thing with Trevor Lawrence. He grew up in Georgia, so he grew up a Falcons fan. Washington football team, there wasn't really anybody that were fans of them. And the 49ers. Like, the 49ers have even more quarterbacks than I think Dallas has. Like, you really have Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, and Russell Wilson. Like, that's just completely unfair. Completely unfair. That doesn't even make any sense. How many people grew up a 49ers fan? Like, it's ridiculous. And the Giants, we don't have anybody there. Nobody for the Jags. Ain't nobody for the Jets. Nobody for the Lions. Green Bay, Zach Wilson grew up a Green Bay Packers fan. His favorite player growing up was Brett Favre, and he wanted to be like Brett Favre. The Panthers, I couldn't really find anything for Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold, so I just kept them where they were at. And then the Patriots, Mac Jones, grew up a Patriots fan, Tom Brady. So he's already playing for the team that he grew up liking. So that was an easy switch. Same thing with Derek Carr. He grew up a Raiders fan. I think he's from Fresno, California. I know he's from California. So he grew up a Raiders fan. That was easy. There were no Rams fans, no Ravens. Joe Burrow grew up a Saints fan, and he's from Ohio, but grew up a Saints fan because he loved playing for Drew Brees. And he know he played for LSU, which is my favorite college team. So that's bonus point for me. Then Seattle, didn't find anything there. Steelers, I didn't find anything for Kenny Pickett, so I just kept him where he was at. Same thing for Mason Rudolph. The Texans, Jalen Hurts, he grew up in Houston, so people kind of assumed that he was a Dallas fan because, you know, Dallas is the bigger entity in Texas, but he actually grew up Washington Texans because he grew up in Houston. So we had that. And then Tennessee, couldn't find anything there. Then the Vikings, Kyler Murray grew up a Vikings fan. Obviously, people thought he was a Cowboys fan. He grew up in Texas, but he actually was a Vikings fan living in Texas. Carson Wentz was a Vikings fan also. And Trey Lance, his favorite player growing up was Adrian Peterson. So, you know, Vikings was his favorite team. So yeah, that's all of it. So now we're going to go back and we're going to simulate to mid-season and see what the standings look like. So simulate to mid. So we're back to midway points, and we're gonna check. Let's see if we can check league-wide stats. So let's check the quarterback. So Mahomes has 1,500 yards, 130 completions, 180 pass attempts, 12 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Kirk Cousins, 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Let's see. So Chargers, Herbert, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Drew Lock, 9-9. Foles, 11-9. Bridgewater, 11-6. Matt Ryan, 16-1. Let me just get to the 49ers. Brady, 10-5, 1,600 yards. So let's see what the standings look like. So here are the NFL standings. The Saints are 6-0 with Joe Burrow at the helm. 6-0, they haven't lost yet. The Bills are 5-1, surprisingly. Even when they lost Josh Allen, they're 5-1. Eagles are 5-2 with Jameis. Patriots are 5-2. Dolphins 5-2. Bears 5-2. Colts, Bengals, Cardinals, and obviously the 49ers are 4-2 with Brady. Cowboys are 4-2. So we're going to simulate to the playoffs and see what happens when that starts. All right, so we're in the play. So we're back in the playoffs, and it looks like we are in the wild card round. Let's check the playoff brackets and see exactly who's in there. Okay, so 2 seed we have Raiders, 7 seed we have Ravens, 3 Broncos, 6, 3 Bengals, 6 Broncos, excuse me. 4 Bills, 5 Titans. Number 1 is the Colts. And the 49ers are the 4 seed with Tom Brady at the helm. Vikings are 3, Cardinals 6, 2 is Panthers, Buccaneers 7, number 1 is Eagles. So we actually didn't make it to the playoffs. So that's surprising. Even with Pat Mahomes up there, we didn't make. Finished season 9-8. So let's check and see. They have awards. So the MVP of the league is Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan led the league. He led the Eagles, excuse me, with a 14-3 record. Joe Burrow was third in MVP voting for the Saints, going 9-8. And for some reason, Kyle Trask finished second in MVP voting. That's crazy. They lost Tom Brady and then had a 67 overall quarterback finish second in MVP voting. Offensive player of the year, Matt Ryan for the NFC. The best quarterback for the NFC was Kyle Trask. He actually got it over Matt Ryan and Joe Burrow. Pat Mahomes finished 6th with his new team. Trevor Lawrence finished 4th. Zach Wilson was 7th for Green Bay. Kyler Murray was 8th for Minnesota. Tom Brady was 9th. So for the AFC, the best quarterback was Cam. The second best quarterback actually Malik Willis. Wow, so a rookie came in, was the second best quarterback in his conference. That's really good. And Drew Lock finished 4th for the Chiefs. Herbert 6th. Matt Jones 9th. Derek Carr 9th. Excuse me. Matt Jones 8th. And let's go and see who wins Super Bowl at the end of this. So it looks like in the Super Bowl, we have the Carolina Panthers against the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals don't even have a quarterback, I believe, last time I checked, because Joe Burrow left. And then the Panthers just have Sam Darnold over there and Matt Corral, I believe, and Baker Mayfield. So it's surprising to see that as a Super Bowl. So let's sit through that and see who wins the Super Bowl. So the Bengals won the Super Bowl. And it's funny because they just lost the Super Bowl in real life to the Rams, but they win the Super Bowl here against the Panthers. So let's see the season recap. So the MVP was Matt Ryan, Coach of the Year Nick Sirianni, Offensive Player of the Year Matt Ryan, Offensive Rookie of the Year was Kyle Trask. Cincinnati Bengals win their first Super Bowl. Joe Mixon was Super Bowl MVP.